What's going on, everybody? Just got out of the gym. Just saw something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, right? You see it all the time, but so I was just finishing up, and I noticed, you got these this young couple, using the hack squat machine. They're very beginners because they got a quarter, a 25 per side. This is the hack squat, right? So that's not much weight. No big deal, right? They're doing the hack squat, and then they get off, and then the lady, she goes onto the hip thrust, and then the guy goes onto this leg press. Everything in the same area, right? And I'm thinking like, maybe they're supersetting or something, right? I don't know what's going on here. It's during peak hours. The gym's very busy. I'm thinking, it's kind of not a great time to superset. I'm not a huge fan of supersets at this time of day. But whatever, they're ripping their superset, no big deal. And then, right, so it's not actually a superset though, right? Because they never go back. And so I'm wondering what the heck's going on, right? Because they've left their weights on the hack squat, and they also got like a sweatshirt hanging from it. They got their water bottle over there. And I'm just like, geez, they're new. Maybe they don't know that you're not supposed to do that. Although it's like kind of common sense, right? Like, let me leave all my crap on this machine, right? And then this poor guy, I see him all the time at the gym. He's like, goes to the hack squat, and he's looking around, trying to see like, is anybody using this? I'm trying to use this. He's looking around. Nobody's talking to him. He asks the person on the machine next to him, hey, did you see anyone using this hack squat? And they're like, oh, I don't think so. I think they're done. And then he goes to the front desk, and he's basically playing Sherlock Holmes, trying to figure out who was using this machine. Like, he just wants to use the machine. And that's what, people don't realize. It's like, oh, if somebody wants to use it, they can just ask me and I'll move my stuff. No big deal. And it's like, well, if they weren't training when you were on the machine, how are they going to know to ask you, right? How do they know it wasn't somebody else? And now they got to play detective to try to figure out, who was on this machine, and, can I use it, basically, right? And, he finally figures out who was on the machine, and he goes up to him, he's like, oh, you guys done with the hack squat or whatever? And by this point, they've done like 3 or 4 sets on the other machine, on their new machines. And the girl goes, oh, yeah, my bad. And she goes and grabs her sweatshirt and her water bottle and freaking leaves the 35 pounds per side on the hack squat. And the guy's like looking around like, you're not going to re-rack your weights? You're just going to leave them for me? And it's funny because I've heard people say like, when I'm like, hey, are you going to re-rack your weights or whatever? They're like, oh, well, I didn't think it was a big deal. Like, it's just 35 pounds, won't you just re-rack it for me? And it's like, okay, well, if it's not such a big deal, then why didn't you just re-rack it in the first place? So you're kind of making it seem like it was a big deal, and that's why you didn't do it. But when it's my turn to re-rack your weight for you so I can use the machine, it's not a big deal all of a sudden, right? And I get it. This is a hardcore gym, so it is customary to occasionally leave a 45-pound plate per side on a lot of the machines. Like, that's fine. But they left a 25 and a 10 on the hack squat. It's like 90% of people in this gym, they're not starting, you're starting at a plate to warm up. Like, so it was just very funny, I don't want to harp on it too hard, but it was, it's like, have some awareness, folks, and like, I'm not, sometimes I confront people about this stuff in the gym, but I don't do it to, be like a gym Nazi or a, like, I'm not like all about the rules, like hardcore, like, oh, respect it's more about just making the gym a better place, right? So that guy, when he walks in the gym and wants to use the hack squat, he doesn't have to play 5 minutes of detective to try to figure out who's using it, if he can use it. Right? So, it's just about making the gym a better place for everyone in it, right? And having it be obvious that you're done with a machine like that just makes everybody else's life better. It saves them time. We all have lives, so, obviously it's just kind of a funny thing. You see these things from time to time. No big deal, but, just thought I'd bring it up.